province under fire for its response to last year's wildfire season, where an independent review says residents were failed. Remembering a Saskatoon philanthropist, the impact Irene Dubé made on our community. And Saskatoon celebrates the World Cup.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a scathing review of Saskatchewan's response to last year's historic wildfire season. The report found the province was not fully prepared for a crisis of that scale. And as Laura Woodward reports, it's now prompting calls for resignations.
There was nothing left, just ash and metal.
Dustin Tremblay lost his Denair Beach home during last year's record-breaking wildfire season. He's calling for Marlo Pritchard and Steve Roberts, the leaders at the center of Saskatchewan's wildfire response, to resign.
As far as I'm concerned, there was such a break in management and communication. Some people will never be, their life has changed forever.
An independent report prepared by MNP into Saskatchewan's wildfire response found the Public Safety Agency was not fully prepared.
I recognized communication was an issue as someone sort of on the outside watching last season, and it's been a main focus of mine.
MNP found staffing shortages and delays in training hampered Saskatchewan's ability to respond to a crisis of this scale. More than 10,000 people were forced from their homes in the 2025 wildfire season, which burned nearly 3 million hectares across Saskatchewan. The review identified problems with emergency coordination and confusion around evacuations, noting the province was still using paper registration for evacuees. Pritchard says the evacuee registration process has already been upgraded.
We're going to continue to enhance it. We would love to get to, using technology at e-transfers and stuff like that. So we're still working towards some obvious goals.
The timing of the report's release was under scrutiny. The province says it received the findings on May 22nd. The NDP argues releasing it 3 weeks later on a Friday is an attempt to avoid public accountability.
I don't think it's any small coincidence they released this report, this long-awaited, overdue report, on a Friday, so they didn't have to answer questions about it for 2 days over the weekend.
MNP has made 11 recommendations, including stronger communication between government agencies and improved wildfire forecasting. The province says it accepts the findings and is moving quickly to implement change.
I believe the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency can and will do better.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
We are learning more about Saskatchewan's strongest tornado in more than 15 years that touched down this week near the U.S. border. It traveled approximately 32 kilometers, blazing a trail of destruction. Cole Davenport takes a look at its path and the damage it caused.
A significant tornado in the Oxbow-Alameda area on Tuesday is now a confirmed EF3. That makes it the strongest in Saskatchewan since 2010 and the strongest in Canada since 2023. The rating confirmation coming after a Northern Tornadoes Project survey team released their findings on the tornado's path and images of the destruction left in its wake. The tornado is believed to have touched down in the North Portal area just before 7 p.m. Tuesday. From there, it tracked northeast, crossing Highway 9 just before the point where it caused the most damage. It continued on towards Oxbow, the damaged track ending near Bow Valley Park, when the tornado roped out and it dissipated after being on the ground for approximately 32 kilometers. The research team said there was evidence of damage along the U.S. border, but could not investigate further into North Dakota, and the start time is based on radar estimations. The hardest hit area, a farmyard just off Highway 9, where a home was destroyed, along with an outbuilding being totally swept away and 2 vehicles tossed and rolled. No one was hurt, but a family pet was killed in the storm. It also caused major damage to an oil field site in the area where 2 pump jacks were blown over. The estimated wind speed topped out at 245 kilometers per hour and had a maximum width of 560 meters. Further investigation on exactly where and when the tornado hit the ground is pending, including a review of satellite imagery. As researchers put together the pieces of how powerful this tornado was, local communities have launched several fundraising campaigns to help the family whose home was destroyed. Cole Davenport, CTV News, Regina.
Well, Jeff up, no wild weather here today, but it was a gloomy day.
It was a gloomy day and windy in most locations, Chantel, and some places are still going to be windy tomorrow. It's going to be abating in other parts of the province, but it has been a windy day across the province. Once again, that big low, that storm-creating low is taking its sweet time. It's really being stubborn in terms of leaving and running out of steam. But ultimately, we still have the effects of that counterclockwise rotation around that low, still impacting parts of southern Saskatchewan and into parts of Manitoba. And there's also a low pressure trough that's also creating some instability. So right now, there's still some places that are dealing with a little bit of rain. Wind is an issue, but things will be calming down and they'll be warming up.
The community is remembering a Saskatoon woman who gave her time and money to countless charitable causes over the years. CTV's Stacey Hine now on the legacy of giving Irene Dubé leaves behind.
The feeling that you get when you see the good come from something you've done you can't describe it.
That's Irene Dubé speaking to CTV News in 2008. She died Tuesday at the age of 89, leaving her mark on countless lives through her generosity.
She was generous with her time. She always made you feel that whatever you were doing was the most important thing.
Born and raised in Wynyard, Irene Dubé came from humble roots, something she also spoke about in this 2008 interview.
I came from a very, very poor family. There was 10 of us. And so the same with Leslie. Schooling, you didn't go past grade 12 if you got there.
In 1954, she married Leslie Dubé. Together, they built the Concord Group of companies, creating a business empire. By 1993, the couple froze their estate and committed future earnings to causes they felt needed support. Over the years, the Dubés donated millions to healthcare, post-secondary education, and nonprofits.
I don't think there's anybody who had not been touched by the Dubé generosity.
They played a key role in the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital, donating $6.5 million.
They're our legacy builders, and we wouldn't have our hospital, and it would not be to the level that it is, which is world-class right now, without them.
When the hospital opened, each room had an Afghan hand-knitted by Irene. She was also a mental health advocate, donating $3 million toward the Irene and Leslie Dubé Center for Mental Health. The Dubés were regular supporters of the Saskatoon Food Bank, donating $1.5 million toward the capital campaign for a new building.
There are so many sectors in our city that they've touched with their work.
Irene leaves a legacy of helping others.
Her legacy will live on through her children, and we're very lucky to have the Dubé family as part of our city.
The Dubé name can be found across the city, a lasting tribute to their generosity and the difference giving back can make. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A 67-year-old woman has been charged in connection to the death of a child on the Beardies and Okamosas Cree Nation. RCMP say they were called to a home in the community on May 10th where a child under the age of 12 was in medical distress. Paramedics declared the child dead at the scene. The death is considered suspicious. On Tuesday, Saskatoon RCMP charged the 67-year-old with manslaughter, criminal negligence causing death, and failing to provide the necessities of life, and abandoning a child. RCMP are not releasing any information about the victim or the accused, who appeared in Saskatoon court on the charges yesterday. She is scheduled to be in Rosthern court next week. A house fire in the Briarwood neighborhood is under investigation. Crews were called over the noon hour to the 400 block of Blackshire Crescent. They arrived to find smoke coming from the house. No one was injured inside when firefighters searched the inside. The cause, origin, and damage estimate are under investigation. 4 men are facing charges as part of a drug trafficking investigation in Saskatoon. Here's a look at what was seized on June 4th. Police searched homes on Meadows Parkway and Akhtar Bend in the Evergreen neighborhood. Almost $34,000 of Canadian cash, cocaine, fake currency, weapons, as well as shoes and jewelry, all taken as evidence. The men facing charges are all in their 20s, are from Toronto. Drivers can expect the University Bridge to open later this month, but construction on College Drive is facing delays. The city had originally said the bridge would be open mid-June, but today said it is expected to open the week of June 29th. But there will be some lane restrictions in the area with two-way traffic, one lane in each direction. The city says the College Drive Link project is still on budget, but has experienced some delays due to weather, removing old trolley rails and old building foundations. The work on College Drive is expected to finish in the fall. Saskatoon's Harry Bailey Aquatic Centre will remain public. The city had been in negotiations with the YMCA to operate the facility, but it says after considering its options and talking to the YMCA and the union representing workers, administration decided keeping it city-run was the best option at this time. It says it will continue to talk to the Saskatoon YMCA about potential partnerships, including possibly operating the future East Side Leisure Centre. The Harry Bailey Aquatic Centre has been closed since 2023 as it undergoes renovations. The city says construction is more than 90% complete and is expecting the centre to reopen in the fall. A Saskatchewan family whose son has special needs is scrambling to find childcare. The facility he had been at said it could no longer accommodate his needs. Mick Fable has their story.
A child with special needs has been let go from a Regina daycare. Now his mother and stepmother are looking for answers and options. With the dismissal, the parents feel he is slipping through the cracks.
It's really disheartening to know that my son is a really smart kid. He's a really kind kid. He just has some struggles and needs some extra support, and it feels like he's sort of being judged by his worst day or sort of the things that he finds really hard.
On May 25th, a letter was sent home notifying the family of the dismissal. It says the daycare is unable to keep the child due to staffing capacity and are unable to offer the supports needed. The termination goes into effect June 30th.
We are just unsure about what KJ's future at daycare looks like. Are they going to hire someone? Are they not going to hire someone? And do we have to look for a new daycare because KJ does have autism?
The family is getting some help through the Enhanced Accessibility Grant, intended to help childcare facilities cover the cost for children needing additional care. Fluter says this funding was covering the staff who left the daycare.
They are able to, get that extra support for children who do have struggles with transitions, behaviors during certain periods, and needing that extra staff support.
In an emailed statement, the Ministry of Education say they are committed to an inclusive childcare system, and in the past year, 722 children have benefited from the grant. The family is now looking into other daycares, but it is uncertain if they will find a spot before the end of the month. Gerard says she hopes other families do not feel discouraged to advocate for their children.
I think there are things that are happening in that environment that don't work for disabled kids. I think that there is some ableism baked into the way that we look at childcare, the way that we look at education, and the way that we then provide those services to kids.
CTV News did reach out to the daycare, but was told they cannot comment on specific situations due to privacy and confidentiality. Mick Fable, CTV News, Regina.
QP members rallied at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building, calling attention to what they describe as a growing retention crisis in the province's healthcare system. Health officials say negotiations with unions are ongoing. The Ministry of Health says it is working to strengthen the workforce through its Human Health Resources Action Plan, which focuses on recruitment, training, and retention. Officials also point to the Patients First healthcare plan, highlighting commitments to training seats, workplace safety, and facility improvements. But critics say those efforts may not be enough.
Their recruitment strategy does not treat retention as foundational. We know that is a huge issue. We know that healthcare workers need a fair contract. They need to feel supported.
If an experienced LPN that has worked for 44 years on an acute care floor cannot get a break, that's a problem.
The issue of retaining healthcare workers remains a key concern as both sides continue discussions. The World Cup has officially arrived in Canada, with Toronto hosting its first game, and fans here in Saskatoon were eagerly watching. Keenan Sorokon reports.
It didn't take long for Saskatoon soccer fans to get in the World Cup mood. That That was the scene this afternoon at Stoked in Saskatoon as Canada began its first World Cup on home soil. After years of build-up and waiting, Canada marched onto the field in Toronto, and fans here in Saskatoon felt they were missing out being so many miles away.
Yeah, there's a lot of FOMO going on. Watching the prices as the games got closer, just checking and being like, can we do it?
While others had trouble watching.
I'm a bundle of nerves right now. That's why I'm drinking the beer.
You know, I've been following them for a long time, and this has been a long time coming, and we're really hoping for our first World Cup win.
Being a co-host nation alongside Mexico and the United States, fans can't help but wonder what a World Cup in Canada will do for soccer moving forward.
I think it's a great opportunity for the younger kids to have the World Cup in their backyard, and you're going to see a lot more kids playing soccer over the next few years.
Ending with a 1-1 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina may not have been the result fans here wanted, but there was no denying the World Cup's arrival in Canada.
It's a great experience, so I think it's going to be lots of fun.
They've definitely come a long way, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, certainly to see it live here is fantastic.
Fans here in the middle of the country may be thousands of kilometers away from the nearest stadium, but they're getting behind this team every step of the way. Keenan Sora-Khan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Students from Tommy Douglas Collegiate and the school on Muskeg Lake Cree Nation are getting hands-on experience with renewable energy. It's all thanks to a project installing solar panels that incorporates lessons in sustainability, skilled trades, and future career opportunities. As Carla Shinkerick found out, even though installation happened on a cloudy day, the future is looking bright.
Installation is underway on a 10-panel ground-mounted solar energy system at Tommy Douglas Collegiate. In the same project, another one is going up at a school in Muskeg Lake, Cree Nation.
The students out there are going to be doing their install, and our students are doing them here. And then we're going to have the two groups meet up, and they're going to compare different stories.
Preble got almost $70,000 through a teacher innovation grant and partnered with a local company, Rock Paper Sun.
This is a great project because it's a ground mount system. The students can actually be involved in the implementation of it, and then they can also be involved in tracking the data after this as well.
It's part of the environmental science class. Data will be shared between all science classes at the school, and it just makes sense to these students.
Our province has a lot of potential for renewable energy. We get a lot of sunshine, especially in the summer and the winter even.
Instead of using something bad for the climate change, you could use something like this and all that. I also can't wait to track the progress about the solar panels.
It also allows students from 2 school communities to collaborate.
I feel very excited and proud about it because we're using I would call it natural energy, almost, energy that's from the sun.
These 10 panels can't power the entire school, but the money it saves will go towards this program.
So that will be great for saving the school some money and taking or reducing our carbon footprint as a school as well.
This is also introducing students to careers in the growing clean energy sector.
This is something that I would continue with, something that I would put on my resume.
So this teacher hopes that this project will encourage other similar initiatives at many schools in the future. Carla Shinkerick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Still to come, the Prime Minister in Paris, what he hopes to achieve with world leaders. Also, Canada kicks off the World Cup, the celebrations, and the celebrities. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Mark Carney is overseas to meet with French President Emmanuel Macron. It was a crucial meeting ahead of the G7 next week, hosted by France. CTV's Mike Lecouture is traveling with the Prime Minister in Paris.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Emmanuel Macron were looking for areas of agreement ahead of the G7 summit in France. As Carney moves Canada closer to the European Union, the two leaders agreed to more collaboration on artificial intelligence and safe social media.
I would like to commend you, President Macron, for the decisive action that you are taking to protect children online.
And the two leaders agreed to do more on intelligence sharing. They're also both using strong language when describing the geopolitical instability.
Nous constatons que l'ordre international est fragmenté.
We note that the international world order is fragmented, says Macron, an echo of Carney's speech in Davos, where the Prime Minister called on middle powers to work together as the world's hegemonies become more aggressive. Now, Canadian officials who briefed reporters ahead of the G7 summit warned it could be difficult to get consensus on issues like a critical mineral value chain or government intervention against online harms.
The presence of Donald Trump is something that always leads to possible controversies. Will people get actual FaceTime, including our Prime Minister, with Donald Trump?
Carney and Trump will have some FaceTime, but it's unclear if it'll be a full sit-down meeting. While getting a consensus could be difficult among the 7 leaders, Carney doesn't think the group is fracturing.
I mean, there'll be some issues where there are strongly held views by one of the G7 partners that, are more extreme than others. And I'm not saying just one. I mean, each of us may have examples of that.
In French, Prime Minister Carney was even more specific, saying he doesn't believe it'll turn into the G6 plus the U.S., a statement that could be tested at next week's Leaders Summit in the French Alps. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Paris.
With the Riders set to kick off their 2026 season tomorrow, the pre-game festivities will be a buzz as tailgating is making its debut outside of Mosaic Stadium. Jacob Carr on the excitement about the opening game and the pre-game fan experience.
This lot in front of Mosaic Stadium may be empty now, but in less than 24 hours it will be filled with tailgating fans for the first time since being built nearly a decade ago. And the team's signal caller is excited for Riderville to get a pregame experience that he knows all too well.
I grew up Central Ohio kid rooting for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and my family would get up at 4 in the morning and we would drive a camper down to Columbus.
Harris says as a child, when he saw the Buckeyes team bus come in, he would think that it would be cool to be the one playing in front of thousands of fans.
When you see tailgaters tomorrow and people excited about the games and the hoopla going into the game and the excitement building around the team, the fact that I get to go out there and be a part of this is something that I never take for granted.
The tailgating parameters involve purchasing a season pass to book one of a couple hundred spots, with each pass securing 2 side-by-side parking stalls, one for a vehicle, the other for the tailgate setup.
200 tailgate spots that are directly south of the Brandt Center, and so fans can park there. They have a spot to park vehicles, and they have a spot set up for tailgate gear. So whether that's picnic tables or lawn chairs or barbecues or smokers, and they can bring their own food.
And according to Harris, giving the fan base that bleeds green one more tailored game day experience is something those in Rider Nation deserve.
When you go anywhere, typically, guys are, fans are, hey, can you sign this real quick? Can we take a picture? Can you do it? It's just Rider football, man. That's what people here love.
Tailgating will be open to Rider Priders 5 hours before kickoff on game days. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Fans who turned up early for this afternoon's World Cup match also had the chance to attend Canada's opening ceremonies. The show began with a celebration of Canada's Indigenous peoples and cultures, led by Juno Award-winning singer-songwriter William Price. That was followed by special performances from several Canadian and global celebrities. Michael Bublé was one of the singers taking to the field at Toronto Stadium, joined by Toronto's The Soul Power Choir with a performance of Sam Cooke's Bring It On Home to Me. And fresh off her induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, Alanis Morissette sang "Oh Canada" ahead of the match. A performance that ended with a special flyover by the Canadian Snowbirds past the cheering crowds at Toronto Stadium. Jeff, I have a feeling a lot of people were working from home today.
Yes, working from home. It's like, oh, my hamstring. I can't get into the work today. Yeah, so
it was a busy afternoon, that's for sure.
A busy afternoon, and great to see some real deal star power there to kick things off. And you know, fingers crossed as we make our way through the tournament. Let's take a look and see what our numbers look like. And we can tell you that it was another cool day, not surprising at all. I think everybody was expecting this, and we certainly were. 14 degrees for Saskatoon right now, 13 in Prince Albert, and 16 in the Battleford. So certainly coolish temperatures, and still kind of windy, particularly in Saskatoon and the Battlefords. Not as windy in Prince Albert right now. Let's take a look at Saskatoon's almanac. 15 degrees for our high today, so 7 degrees below the seasonal average of 22 degrees. The overnight low, pretty much where it should be. 32, that was the record temperature set in 1987. That's roasty and toasty. -2, the record temperature from 1969. 4:46 is when the sun came up, and it went down at 9:27, or it's going to go down at 9:27.
Coming up, celebrating 70 years together, we meet a Saskatchewan couple whose relationship is standing the test of time.
Monday on Your Morning Saskatchewan, with World Cup fever taking over Canada, how the excitement is set to benefit Saskatchewan's hospitality sector. It all starts at 6.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the live lens of Skycam. No rain falling in Saskatoon right now, but we're taking a look through the live shot here. You can certainly see some cloudy conditions. It's been a gray day, and a little bit more of a significant cloud shelf there on the horizon. But all in all, a gray day, a windy day, and it's going to stay windy into the evening hours. So we'll talk about that. And actually, tomorrow's going to be kind of windy too in some respects. Not just, not necessarily here in Saskatoon, but other locations. That low pressure area right here, continuing to impact other parts of central Canada, of the Prairie provinces and into central Canada. The West Coast looking for a big heat warm-up this weekend, so if your travels are taking you out to the West Coast, you are in luck. Here we go with our numbers just to recap. 14 degrees in Saskatoon, Prince Albert 13 and 16 in the Battlefords. As you can see, cloudy or mainly cloudy skies, but still quite windy in Saskatoon and PA. 18 degrees in Uranium City for the hot spot in the province today. Collins Bay, the cold spot at 4. Around the province we go, starting off with the big time communities here. Lloydminster and Estevan at 15 degrees, 14 in Swift Current and Moose Jaw, 12 in the Queen City, and just 10 degrees right now in Yorkton. Likely they've had some rain in the area. 9 degrees in Hudson Bay. It does warm up to 16 in a number of communities towards the western side of the province. Melfort and Wynyard both sitting at 11 degrees right now. Up north, does it get warm or stay warm? Yeah, actually it's a little warmer, at least in and around that 15 or 16 degree mark. A little cooler in Sandy Bay Island Falls, where it's 13 right now. 14 degrees in a number of communities in southern Saskatchewan, 12 in East End, 15 in Weyburn and Carlisle, just 10 degrees right now in Melville. On to our futurecast. Well, the computer models indicate that, yes, that low continues to cycle towards the east, but still impacting Manitoba, but less so in Saskatchewan. Some places in Saskatchewan will be dealing with some windy conditions, but eventually the winds are starting to really ease up as we roll into the latter part of the afternoon. All right, so these are the temperature patterns, and they are pretty much the same right across the province. So let's go. Temperatures in the low 20s for northern Saskatchewan with a mix of sky conditions, mainly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the low 20s for west central Saskatchewan. Look at that. High teens, low 20s for southwestern Saskatchewan. I told you. We've got ourselves mainly cloudy skies throughout the southwest, and mainly cloudy conditions in the southeast as well, but Yorkton will be dealing with some strong wind gusts up to around 60 kilometers an hour. 20 degrees the expected high in Yorkton, Regina, and Estevan. 1 degree warmer for Moose Jaw. 20 or 21 degrees for east central Saskatchewan with mainly cloudy skies in Melfort, Watrous, and Humboldt. Big time sunshine for Hudson Bay. The Battleford's dropping down to 7 degrees tonight with mainly cloudy skies. It stays mainly cloudy for tomorrow, and the winds don't really change all that much. A slight change in wind direction. And then as we take a look at Sunday, 24 degrees, 23 to start the work week, but then a bit of an unsettled situation Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and temperatures dropping down to 16 on Wednesday, trying to rebound on Friday with a high of 19. Prince Albert, slight chance of showers, 9 degrees. The winds back off tonight. They pick up a little bit tomorrow, so northerly winds at 20 kilometers an hour, so a moderate wind. 22 degrees for the high, 24 on Sunday, 23 on Monday, and staying in the high teens right through to Friday. We do not anticipate rain next week for Prince Albert. And Saskatoon, we've got ourselves an overnight temperature of 8, but it's going to stay on the windy side, a 30% chance of showers, and then it backs off a little bit, just a little bit for Saskatoon. Wind gust of 40 tomorrow with a high of 22, and then then on Saturday, or Sunday rather, 24. Ditto that for Monday. Tuesday, 20 degrees. And then I got some unsettled conditions Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, a chance of a thunderstorm, 17 degrees. And 1 week from today, below seasonal temperatures, but still not bad at 19. David Hockney, a treasured British artist whose paintings of shimmering pools and colorful iPad drawings became icons of contemporary art, has died. Hockney's career spanned 7 decades. He explored and reimagined everything from portraiture and landscapes to pop art, working across painting, collage, photography, and digital drawing. Hockney was born in the north of England and spent much of his time in Southern California, where its sun-drenched suburban scenes became a defining feature of his work. David Hockney was 88. Taylor Swift became the youngest woman ever inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame last night at the age of 36. Steven Spielberg introduced Swift with a surprise speech about the power of songwriting. In accepting the honor, she told young songwriters, quote, "You really have to prioritize what you love down to your very core because you'll need that," end quote.
Please, Rocco, it wasn't me.
Start yapping. Where is the tuna?
You have the wrong cat. Tell the truth.
Although anticipation is high for the new Toy Story mover, Pixar is wasting no time already teasing its next big project. Pixar has unveiled a teaser trailer for a new animated film called Gato, and it has a few big names attached to it already, with Mark Ruffalo and Lawrence Fishburne set to voice 2 of the feline characters. This original animated adventure takes viewers into the feline-run underbelly of Venice, Italy, and set to open in theaters on March 5th, 2027. Gato.
I'm not sure, but I feel like you probably have a rainbow pick for pick of the day.
Yes, we'll start off. Well, we've got a lot of rainbow submissions, and I like them all, you know, so it's the colors of the rainbow. There we go. Jeff, I took this picture Tuesday night. This is from Mary. All of a sudden, it got windy and started to rain, and then I looked outside, and there's a double rainbow. And she tells us this was north of Spiritwood by Leoville. So thank you, Mary, for that. The next one comes to us from Margaret, and she tells this is a picture of a fledgling robin. What a great close-up. So some nice wildlife shots there. Margaret sends us a lot of pictures. Next one comes to us from Linda, more wildlife. And this one, I think she sent us, I think, yeah, you can see them off in the back there. This is a mama and 4 bear cubs. The 4th one is just sort of in the top left-hand corner there, tucked away. But Linda says she ran into these 5 at Prince Albert National Park on Thursday afternoon. And speaking of families in the outdoors, here you go. Jeremy Dodge, his son Nathan, his dad Keith, and his brother Kevin. A 3-generation foursome out at Moon Lake today for the SPCA's Tee Off for Tails golf tournament. What a great family photo. Thanks for sharing that with us, Jeremy, and I hope you guys had a nice day. I think you told me it was a very windy day. Not great for golf. All righty. If you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca, and please put pick of the day in the subject line.
Still to come on CTV News, a Saskatchewan couple sharing their secret to marriage. What's kept them together 7 decades later. A Saskatchewan couple is celebrating 7 decades of marriage. Damien Smith went to find out what it takes to stay strong for so many years.
Singing their favorite song by Anne Murray. It's a fitting tune for Joe and Kathy Powlick as they celebrate 70 years of marriage.
She was a good cook, good wife.
The couple married in 1956. Joe was 22 and Kathy was 19. Before moving to the Renaissance in 2022, they lived in the Kelleher area. Wayne Bernikevich has known the Powlicks his entire life.
This is truly an incredible event when you think about it, that anyone could be living 70 years is a bit of an accomplishment, let alone being married for 70 years.
Until they moved into the city, the couple farmed near Kelleher.
We had livestock crops and large gardens, so we had to help out with the animals and, working in the gardens.
Their marriage has created a 4-generation family with 8 grandkids and 5 great-grandchildren.
I spent a lot of time there as a kid, chasing the cats, playing with my cousins, my sister, and we grew up as a family, and so it was an opportunity for us to learn the ways of the farm.
According to Renaissance Regina, this is the longest-lasting tenant marriage that they've seen, at least within the past 10 years.
Very proud and happy for them, and it's nice to see that they've made it to this point. It's a big milestone.
I just got married this past September myself, and so 69 and a half years to go is a long way off.
And as for what advice he has to give to newlywed couples like his grandson,
life isn't roses all the time. It's ups and downs, and sometimes you got to give and sometimes you got to take.
Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
When we come back, the Leisure Centre in Prince Albert keeps clocking its admissions. And later, how police were able to bust a huge soccer fan.
Here's what's happening in our community. It's almost time for the Pars for Paws golf tournament in support of the Prince Albert SPCA, Friday and Saturday at the Cook Municipal Golf Course. Feeding Saskatchewan is set for Saturday at Prairieland Park. Live music, improv comedy, karaoke, and so much more, all in support of the Saskatoon Food Bank and Food Banks of Saskatchewan. You can submit your community event by visiting our website and clicking on Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
All right, let's take a look at the rural forecast for Saturday. And right now, things are looking closer to seasonal than they have for the last few days. Temperatures in and around that 21-degree mark for many locations, and it doesn't look like rain is in the forecast for these areas I'm looking at right now. Temperatures basically around 21 or 22 degrees with mainly cloudy skies. And then as we take a look at quick look at the eastern side of the province, look at that. Lots of sunshine for Hudson Bay, 21 degrees, Wynyard 19. Taking a quick look down south, well, temperatures don't really change all that much. We saw that in the earlier forecast around the province. 17 in East End, but at 21 in Lumsden. Lots of other places though around 19 or 20 degrees, so a fairly static temperature pattern across the province. And that includes Kelvington, where we have Summerfest coming up on June 20th. Lots of things going on all over Kelvington, so keep that in mind, but that's coming up a week from tomorrow. And then we've got 20 degrees tomorrow, reals tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies, and it's going to be a bit of a windy day in Kelvington. And Kelvington is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The City of Prince Albert says the Lake Country Co-op Leisure Centre aquatic facility remains on track to reach the target 70,000 admissions for 2026. More than 41,000 admissions to the aquatic centre were recorded so far this year. That's twice the number of visits recorded annually at the former Frank Dunn Pool while it was still in operation. These numbers are for activities like public swim, lane swim, and aquafit, but do not include swimming lessons. The city also says city swimming lesson spaces have almost doubled with the addition of the new facility. The Saskatoon Berries are still in a tie for first place despite losing a close contest in Regina last night. The Red Sox got 2 runs in the second inning and 2 more in the third inning en route to an 8-6 win over the Saskatoon Berries. Nick Stinson for the Berries had 2 hits and 2 runs batted in for the Berries in a losing case. Still, the team remains tied for first place in the league with an 8-3 record on the season. The Berries will be back on the road tonight for a matchup in Moose Jaw before returning back to Cairns Field for a rematch against Regina tomorrow. As the Riders kick off their season tomorrow, a team tradition continues. As Donovan Mace tells us, each year quarterback Trevor Harris puts a team motto on a wristband for each player.
We put SR time.
Last season, a simple phrase on a wristband turning into a Grey Cup championship for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
The one side says check ball, and the other side's R factor.
And Trevor Harris has another message for his team this year.
We're not chasing last year. We're chasing a standard we've set, and we're trying to hire that. And so what happened last year, the standard we've set, how are we going to respond to that?
It's a tradition the veteran quarterback started his first year in green and white back in 2024, with Don't Flinch being the team's mantra that season before SR time in 2025. Check ball notes no matter the situation, it's time to play. And R factor as a reminder the team cannot control outcomes, only responses.
We've kind of embodied what we have in this wristband, and so I think we're going to be people that respond this year, and I think we're going to just say line up and play, spot the ball, don't matter. That's just going to be who we are and what we embody.
Newcomers have bought into how we operate.
Continuing a championship mentality as Saskatchewan looks to defend its Grey Cup title.
Continue with the messaging, but certainly the veterans on the team have completely, brought everybody in.
You come to an organization that's winning, it's going to be easy to get inside of it, follow along.
Harris adding other teams and maybe even a certain opposing quarterback.
It's our time! It's our time!
Trying to take the "It's our time" motto.
People have tried to steal that saying and say someone else's when it was really ours.
Saskatchewan opens their season Saturday against the BC Lions, the team the Riders beat in last year's Western Division final. Kickoff is 5 p.m. at Mosaic Stadium. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Elon Musk, already the world's richest man, is now the world's first trillionaire. Morella Fernandez explains.
SpaceX shares started trading today on the NASDAQ and immediately shot up. The initial public offering price was $135 US, but these shares have been in high demand and the price shot up over 30% at one point. The company has raised $75 billion, which is a new record for an IPO. SpaceX builds rockets, satellites, and also has an AI division. Elon Musk controls more than 80% of the company. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.52. West Texas Intermediate down to 84.88. Western Canadian Select is down to 73.72. And the TSX gained 266 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Coming up, the plot police put into motion to get their man. Then the soccer fans with quite the collection.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here tonight at 7, starting with Spring Break Murders.
Party, party, party. Death, death, death. Spring Break Murders.
All right, well, Peruvian police say they have used the World Cup fever of a die-hard soccer fan and drug trafficking suspect to raid his home and capture him. That's police dressed up as World Cup mascots, specifically Maple the Moose and Clutch the Eagle, to bash down the suspect's front door. Police claim the costumes would not look suspicious as they approached the suspect's home. Like, not at all. The accused trafficker was caught and detained, so I guess the plan worked.
Okay, I haven't been paying attention, but is that the Canadian and the American mascots?
Oh, good question.
I'm just wondering.
Yes, virtual. Okay, there you go. All right, sticking with the World Cup, many Canadians have dug out their team jersey, but few would have more than these guys. Davor and Marko from Croatia own more than 6,000 football jerseys combined, not to mention other collectibles like shoes, balls, as well as gloves. There are some prized pieces in that collection. The two friends say their collection is worth more than $8 million. They have no plans to sell it, but they are considering opening up a museum.
What do these gentlemen do for a living?
I don't know.
I wonder.
Maybe they're buddies with the other,
maybe.
suspect. I don't know. Or not.
Yeah, all right. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure there'll be a follow-up on this. Hey, we have got ourselves finally a temperature that is going to, or at least conditions that are going to seem more in line with what we would typically have this time of year, although it is going to be a bit on the breezy side. So into tomorrow afternoon, about 20 degrees for a daytime high, mid-afternoon, but it's still going to be, as I say, breezy, not windy, but breezy. But the good news is we head into next week, or actually the rest of the weekend, looking pretty good. Next week, things taper off a little bit, but still, all in all, not the kind of conditions we dealt with earlier this week.
Nice to see the sun come back.
Yeah, it sure is. Absolutely nice.
Yeah. It was a gloomy day today, but that didn't stop some youngsters from taking in nutrient playland at Kinsman Park. And Daniel Shingrews captured some of these images for us. So we'll leave you with that tonight. Have a great and safe weekend.
Take care.